Hi, everybody. I'm checking in with YouTube, checking in with Instagram, going live for just a couple of minutes today. Super quick, but very powerful lesson today, especially if you're struggling with core stability and diastasis recti. Okay, so let me move this camera real quick so you can see me a little bit better if you're on YouTube. Okay, so as you know, the ABC method is always about alignment, breathing, core engagement. Those three elements exist in every single thing that we do, right? And if those three elements do not exist, then we have to back up, figure out what's missing, and redirect the exercise, pose, posture, whatever it is that we're doing. So the first letter is A for alignment, and it's always the first thing that I assess when I'm meeting someone new. So let's talk about typical postures that I see and typical fixes that I see. Okay. So, first of all, typical posture is roll forward shoulder, forward head, and anterior pelvic tilt forward, right? So, it's like this combination of this forward roll and then sort of dumping into the pelvis and the belly sort of dropping out here. So that's often called mom posture. Another one that I find a lot of is shoulders back here and just kind of pushing the belly out. So when I find those two postures, and we go through all of the elements of creating the line and alignment, crown of the head, over the ear, over the head of the shoulder, over all of the ribs, nobody's more important than anybody else, over the top of the pelvis, over the joint of the thigh bone, then we start to get it, right? But quite often, when I assess someone in person or on one of my Zoom calls, I'll be like, ooh, let's move this one tiny inch. And I'll give you a couple of examples, right? So if we've got this forward head, forward shoulder thing happening, and we're trying to fix that, then quite often the person will go back here, and you can see where that's still a problem. So now our ribs are not all even. The bottom rib is sticking out more than the other ribs, and we're sort of falling back into our back. And then we've got a shortened lower back, and we're probably going to strain our back, right, as well as pushing out through the belly. So the simple 1-inch fix is to find the crown of your head, which is over your ear, not your nose, and pull that crown straight up to the sky. So when that little tiny crown goes straight up like you're shooting a beam out of the crown of your head, it lengthens the spine from the top and allows the spinal cord to be in that nice neutral position. Another inch that I find here just has to do with strength and flexibility in the shoulder. So when the shoulder is rolled forward like this for a long period of time, it's actually maybe super tight here. And this area of the back is not strengthened enough to hold the shoulder where it belongs. So that's a duple work that needs to be done in flexibility here in the front of the shoulder and strength in the back of the shoulder. That's where you'll want to go through my classes and videos that do that work. Shoulder work, upper back work, flexibility work, okay? And you have to work on it a little bit at a time and then really start to notice that you're able to open your chest again and get the shoulder where it belongs. If the shoulder is not where it belongs, if it stays stuck in this forward position, the ribs are not going to be even, and that bottom rib is actually pushing into the belly, which then pushes the belly out. Also, it creates lower back pain because it's a lot of stress and strain on the lower back, and it's more likely to push that head forward, which causes extra strain right here in the neck, which causes more pain. And because of this, we're sticking the belly out. All right? Let's talk about the one simple inch that can happen down here in the anterior pelvic tilt. So if there is a tilt happening in the pelvis, it's going to be anterior or posterior, which means sticking the booty out and the belly forward or overdoing the butt tuck, okay? So if you have an anterior tilt like this, my 1-inch fix is to put a weight at the coccyx, the lowest part of your tail, right down here, and drop that weight toward the floor. When you drop that weight toward the floor, you're not trying to flatten out and completely straighten your back. Your back should have natural curve to it, but when you drop that weight down, it allows length in that lower back, which relieves the pressure of the lower back, and it helps pull the belly back up and in where it belongs. So you see, if you have that anterior pelvic tilt, it naturally causes you to press forward in that belly, which makes it really hard to get stable, strong, or recover from diastasis. So that 1 inch, boom, right there will help bring that back in. On the other hand, if you're stuck here, if you are a butt tucker, if you're an over tucker, then we want to lengthen the front of the thighs and bring that pelvis back in line. So this 1 inch from here to there is the work. Now, a lot of times that also requires that weight feeling down in the lowest part of the spine to lengthen the lower back. So also, this is an issue in both tilted positions. This part of the thigh being too short is going to be an element whether you're here or here. So go back through and work on the flexibility exercises for hips that I have in my classwork. And just doing a little bit at a time will make a big difference, because if this is too short, then you just can't get back into position. So you have to do a little bit at a time to realign your legs with your back with the rest of your body. The difference that alignment makes is everything. It's relief from pain and pressure, and it allows you to breathe correctly, and it allows you to be able to engage the core, focus on it correctly, and strengthen and stabilize from here. I hope that answers your 1 inch posture questions. If you've never had your own personal postural assessment, you can request that from me. We can get on a Zoom call. I'll ask you to back up from the camera, and I'll talk through your specific elements and how to begin to recover that element so that you can make that 1 inch fix. Because what I found is that 1 inch fix, though it feels like it's just that much, that 1 inch fix is the biggest element to drive someone into the next phase of recovery and stability in their core. And it's the biggest indicator on diastasis recti recovery. Okay. So thanks for your time and energy today. Let me know how I can help you. I'm doing a Q&A in my group on Facebook on Friday. If you're not in my Facebook group, like, why not? Be in my Facebook group. Ask your questions. I will answer those live in that group on Friday. Have a great rest of your day.